There are many mathematicians. There are mathematicians who solve problems. They just think about them 24 hours a day. These are difficult problems. It takes many years to solve them. Or there are mathematicians who use their mathematical knowledge and skills to solve practical problems. So there are many types of mathematicians. Most fresh PhDs at the University of California go to IT companies. Very few stay in academia. This is the big difference between mathematics and experimental sciences. In experimental sciences, the criterion of truth is repetition of experiment. What you claim has to be independently confirmed in other laboratories. In mathematics, it is Her Majesty proof. The purpose of a proof is understanding. For a mathematician, it is not enough to know if something is correct or not. They need to understand why it is correct or not correct. That is the heart and soul of mathematics. Proof is... Oh, that's a very good question. Yes, a mathematician writes a very long proof. Then editor of the journal has to find people who would agree to read it and to verify it. Sometimes it's not easy. And they spend a lot of time reading through the proof, working with the author, asking questions. It's a long and difficult verification process. Well, there are problems in mathematics that everybody knows, like Riemann conjecture or now Langland's problem. I work in the area of infinite dimensional algebra, and there are some problems in group theory or Lie algebras that I would like to do. That is a common problem for mathematicians. Even in order to explain what it is about, it would take a lecture. What was special about the Fermat problem? You could just explain it to anybody. But the solution was extremely difficult. Well, for example, now I'm working on the question, if linear propy groups satisfy propy identities, how can I even explain what it is about? Well, theory of non-associative algebra, solution of restricted Burnside problem. There are things that I'm currently worked on. Ask this question in 3 years. Each time when you use your iPhone or Huawei or any smartphone, or log into your email account, or pay with credit card or with chat, you use non-trivial mathematics. It's just people don't know it. And sometimes this mathematics goes back to 100 years ago, to the deepest areas. Tomography. People use the final product. They don't know what's inside. All tomography is based on radon formulas. Smartphones are based on finite fields of Galois. Big data. It's all difficult and non-trivial mathematics. I will tell you one story. In 2008, there was economical crisis in the United States. Many people lost jobs. In that year, the number of mathematics majors at the University of California, San Diego, where I was at that time, in 1 year, increased 5 times. We were overwhelmed. We didn't know what to do. Why? Because students started to think about jobs. In my 30 years of teaching in American universities, I never met an unemployed mathematician. Maybe they do not exist. Most of them go to IT companies. People should have a choice. I'm happy when smart students go to biology, physics, anywhere. There are enough students who choose mathematics. It is not a way, I'm sure they could make more money elsewhere, Though I'm not complaining, mathematicians now are paid adequately, can have comfortable life, but very smart people, if they went to hedge fund, they would probably make more. It is their choice. Well, not directly, because I work on some fundamental problems. But mathematics, we have to be careful dividing it into areas. It is like a plant. If you think that some part of a plant is useless because you don't eat it and cut it out, the plant will die. All parts are interconnected. They feed each other. There was a time when computer scientists were at the departments of mathematics. Then they separated. Now it's a special area, which is, of course, at the time of informational revolution, and we are living through informational revolution, they are at the forefront. Wonderful. But computer science still has a lot of relations in mathematics, so it's one of the source of problems for mathematicians. There was a big influence of computer science on mathematics, the relative importance of questions related to complexity on big graphs. These questions became more important in mathematics, thanks to computer science. The biggest influence of artificial intelligence on mathematics is that they create jobs for mathematicians. Never in history mathematics enjoyed such public support as now, because it is viewed as being related to artificial intelligence. Recently, CEOs of all the top United States artificial intelligence companies signed an open letter about mathematics. They say clearly that artificial intelligence grew out of mathematics, that the language of artificial intelligence is vectors, matrices, etc. And they would rather hire somebody who understands that language than somebody who just learned the recent software. But this is all true. Artificial intelligence is deep learning, was known in mathematics 60 years ago, but it was known under a more modest and more precise name, pattern recognition in multidimensional spaces, because artificial intelligence is pattern recognition in multidimensional spaces. What is the influence on the job of a mathematician? Say, ChatGPT is a wonderful secretary. Artificial intelligence could be used for experiments in mathematics. Usually mathematics is not viewed as experimental science, but when a mathematician creates a conjecture, it's helpful to check it. Well, we have to distinguish. I believe that it really can help computations. I trust computations made by a computer more than I trust human computations. And it can help with experiments. I find it difficult to believe that it will help in proofs. A lot is done in that sense. There are beautiful movies related to mathematics. There are public lectures. Since the society, the perception of the society is that the mathematics is important. In many schools, there are mathematical classes. I'm not worried about the status of mathematics in society. There is always influx of gifted children who are interested. I'm not complaining again. People, it is a good idea to work with school children, especially some of them are really gifted, and they deserve more attention, should work more with them, because mathematics is not about memorizing. Come on. Mathematics is about solving problems. It's art. And somebody has to work with them to show them the beauty of mathematics. That's why I like idea of mathematical classes, mathematical camps. mathematical schools. It does not mean that all of them will end up being research mathematicians. No, they will find their place somewhere, and that place will be good. And their mathematical background will help.